Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to City Skylines Green Cities. We're on the Cleanup Crew Challenge and our city is looking pretty nice. No zoning issues, seems to have gone away since we switched over. There is a lot of talk going around on the forums that it's a bug. Some people think it's just a bug to do with the property type. I mean, we don't forget we switched over to the new European stuff and that could possibly be the cause. I think it might possibly be the cause of having maybe a little bit too much eco stuff combined in there as well. This district's been absolutely fine, has the same European style settings as before. These have the European style settings, so you can see that we've got some very different style houses in this kind of more traditional zoning over here than we have in, say, this part over here. There are some new buildings that have been thrown in, so I'm not 100% convinced that's exactly what it is. As there's issues, we'll just have to kind of work through them. But our population is up to 12,000 and we need to do another big sort of push forward. Now you can see that we've unlocked this tab over here. We did that at the very end of the last episode, so we need to start zoning into this area here. I want to put a farm in this space here. It just makes sense to use that agricultural land there. We're going to need to have a connection to our freeway somewhere over here as well. So, I mean, this is a really big sort of block of land that you can see over here. Obviously, we've only got access to half of it at the moment, but a really big block of land that's fertile over here, which would be ideal for farming. So that's an obvious sort of industry choice that we can go with. The question is, where do I plonk it? Do I plonk it sort of here on this little blob here? Do I put it here nearer the border so that we can expand either side if we unlock this tile, which we might not do? We might go for a different direction. We probably will, but you know, it's a question of where do we place the industry, and we want to make sure we have a good transport link straight to the freeway wherever we put it as well, which is why I'm thinking here, and then put a freeway connection just here, and then we can kind of split off and have an access road into the farm, and maybe we could use some of this land here for residential, which we could then link up with Sunnyside Heights and maybe Mulberry Hills over here as well. But what I will do is, before we do anything along there, is I will bring this road sort of out along this way a bit more. So we'll continue that kind of curve around a little bit. We'll take it a little bit closer to the freeway and sort of bring it around to about here. Where else can we connect up? We've got this kind of block here, which stuck out like this originally because that was where our map border was. So this was kind of the edge of our building zone here, which is why that's that very short little stint there. And for some reason, it didn't fully... Maybe we didn't have access to those 3 blocks there. I don't know, but we'll fill that in. So hopefully that house there will be able to increase its size a little bit next time it levels up. But that now could be a way that we could connect in to this sort of area over here. We could have maybe a little road that comes out this way. Bring this down a bit. Let's link this up over here. Like that. And now if we just kind of take that last piece out a little bit and just bring that around like that. And now we've got a little kind of connection to go off to the 2 sort of separate areas that way. That could be interesting. And then we can obviously do some stuff in here. We'll probably have a drop road coming off here somewhere as well. Let's do that now. Let's bring a road down this way. Keep it relatively straight until we get to about here. And we'll look to curve that around. We want a nice little sort of business district over here, I suppose. We will end up now relocating this recycling centre out of our little shopping area over here as well. You can see it's having a little bit of ground pollution knock-on effect on our park just here. So we'll take that out. We'll probably put a pathway in to bring down here, splitting a couple of blocks of shops, just to give us nice, easy access to the path, to the park. Link that up, and just had a nice little cut through for pedestrians as well. So let's see. We want our sort of other road to run along here. Again, we'll have a little curve to meet up with the road there. Let's do something with this space here as well. Let's just have a road that goes straight, I think, like that. On this side, I see, we can now extend our tram route around here as well. I don't know if I want to have something going across it. I kind of like the idea of having something here. So maybe we'll get the tram to cross over that road. We'll leave a little bit of space there, so obviously we can run the tram through that sort of gap in the middle. Bring this road down again. I don't want to be too close to the freeway. Just wondering whether or not to curve it here. I think I'll do that. And then link up there. That's actually not a very good little link up there, is it? Take that whole piece out there actually and just curve it around this way. This will be smoother and cleaner. There we go. And then we can have this tram can come around here and turn around in this spot and then head back that way again. That kind of works. Now we could even continue running along here alongside the freeway all the way down here if we wanted to. Probably not going to go that far. I want to put a nice little sort of residential block in here. Just a subtle curve, because what I want to do is curve onto this bit here and line up straight there. There we go. Do the same again. Just step inside one. There we go. Oops. And same again over here. And then we'll do something a little bit different here, I think. Let's see. Let's have a single road that kind of comes off here. Curves around a bit. Let's take it to there. Run it straight across to there. And then from here, let's run a split on this corner. That comes down this way. Do I want something coming out here? Let's put a little road in there so we've got the option of a park on either side, or maybe some kind of facility for leisure either side of that little road there. And then obviously we've got space for something a little bit bigger here if we want to, or we could put a little side street in and just have a few little houses and a small little cul-de-sac there. Same again here, we've got enough space to do just a little cul-de-sac like that if we wanted to, or we could put something a bit bigger in there, so it's going to take up a bit more space. So we've got a few options over there. Got a few issues with our workforce that we had at the end of the last episode, haven't resolved themselves yet. We're still running at a slow pace at the moment, so we can get this building done without too much going on in the background. And that's a nice little expansion over here that we can get some new residential and commercial into. I tell you what I will do as well. Let's relocate this over here, out of the way a little bit. There we go. That'll improve this area here. Let's go ahead and put that footpath in that I was talking about. Let's go with a dirt path. We'll drop that straight down the middle, like that. I love the fact that we can do that now, that we can build these pathways onto the edge of our, parks and things like that. We've had those connections, so we can extend the walkways through and make them more natural. I like that. Let's just fill those blocks in. There we go. And you're going to take that building out. And we'll take that building out as well. And that gives a chance for a little 2 square block maybe. All those, I don't think those are linked together. Never mind. We'll see what pops up in those areas. And it'll remove gradually that pollution that's down there. So our park will start to look healthier as time goes on as well. Let's get some power over to our recycle centre briefly. Let's just take a power line from there to there, like that. And let's look at extending our tram track a bit as well. So I need to go to Trams. There we go. And she's going to delete that bit of pathway. We're on freeform, aren't we? Yes, good. I know that's one way at the moment. We'll obviously upgrade and change that bit of track. I'm going to bring this up through here. And there's a slight kink on that. I'm not sure why. There we go. Let's bring that straight through the centre here. And there's enough of a gap either side, hopefully, that noise won't be a major issue. And let's cross over here. So we're out of the way of putting a junction with a level crossing here, right next to a junction there. You're going to get like 1 or 2 cars get stuck there. And then, it's going to make that junction a bit of a mess. So if we have the crossing here, out of the way, there's a little bit of space for traffic to kind of stack up between that junction and the level crossing here. And again, we can look at bringing this along here a bit more. We'll take it to here. That's too much of a curve. Let's try and redo that slightly. There we go, that's better. So we'll take that to there, which is where we've kind of built up to, and this is where we'll put our new one-way system in. So trams are on the right, so I want a little straight piece there. I need to go for straight here. Let's actually go a little bit longer. We'll go there. There and there, and there we go. We've got a little one-way turning vane just there, and we can put stops in all the way through here. So before we zone it, let's put the stops in. Let's take this loop here. I'm going to just pause time now while we do this. I'm going to drag this stop all the way over to here, like that. So we've moved it. We need to rework this section here. So let's upgrade that bit of track like that. That tram at the moment is going off the loop, but we'll get that back. Let's, in fact, let's just do that. See what happens. It's probably going to reset that particular tram back to the depot. That's fine if that happens. But now we can go in and we can sort our stops out. So we had a stop here. So let's let's add those back in like that. So we've got our stops there. We've got a crossing just here. Let's put a stop in here like that. I've got another crossing just there. Let's put a... Where do I want the other stop? I could put this stop a bit closer. I could put it just here. But I don't want to run the risk of having a tram stacked, waiting and blocking the road. So do I just go with one in this section here and then have another one about here? I think that's probably what I'll do. So we'll add another stop just there. And the reason I'm doing the stops first, and then we've got our terminus stop just there. That's actually pretty well spaced out. The reason I'm doing this is so that we can then, before we start zoning, we can actually go ahead and we can start putting those pathways in without disrupting any houses that are being built. So we've got perfect opportunity to drop in a pathway just here, like that. And I'm going to put in a subway on this one. Now I know I have to go down, or go up 3 to go over something. Do I have to go down 3 to go under something? Let's have a look. I'm a little bit too close, aren't I? Yeah, that's fine. That's the other reason why I wanted to have a little bit of space, is it gives me the space.
The noodle masters. No matter what stage of life you're in,
it's gone down very steep, hasn't it?
Noodles for you. From birthday noodles to wedding noodles, all the way to...
Oh, it doesn't give us that level of step control by the look of it. So let's go down there, let's go underneath the track.
So experience something different. Yakisoba. It literally means
back up to the same point, which is there-ish.
This is Mars Official Radio. I'm Miss Escalade. It's time for another letter. This comes from Tony. Hello, Miss Public Service. I've been a long-time fan of the great music.
Alright, there we go. That's pretty close. And we'll try doing that with subways like that. I'm just going to turn that radio off again. It keeps turning on every time I...
They will likely reach the sufficient academic level to start their lives as productive citizens by age 20. What do you think?
There we go.
Tony, your proposition is appealing, but...
We need the radio. There we go. So we'll try a subway stop over here instead of bridges for this part. I don't know. Yeah, especially over here, I might have to go with a bridge. Where is the stop? It's just there. We've got a bit of space. Let's go with another... Let's go with another subway. So, if that is where the stop is, then we want our pathway. I mean, people can walk along, obviously, the pavement along the side of the tracks here to get to that junction there. So we want something to come down to about here, don't we? Let's take this space here. Bring our pathway up this way. Like that, and then from there let's go under. We're a little bit too close, aren't we? And then come back up over here. There we go. It's not perfect, but it works for now. And then over here, our terminus is on that side. So again, we just want a pathway to run from here, pretty much to just there, like that. And then we don't have to destroy any houses or anything that we already zoned in to put those pathways in. They're there to start with, so we can kind of build around them a little bit. We do need to replace the pathway that we took out over here. I might move that stop along just a touch. Yes, let's do that. So we've got this space here. Bring our pathway back up like this. And then let's move that stop along just a touch. So we'll move it to there. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. moves it right to where we put the pathway. Let's move that side of it across, and then of course we need to have a way to get on the other side as well. Trying to snap me, isn't it? Okay, we'll have to make do. There we go. So we've got our subway just there. And hell, if we wanted to, we could even bring that pathway along here to connect to the recycle centre, like that. There we go, that kind of works. Those actually look pretty pretty evenly spaced as well, so that'll do. Let's start putting in some water services, extending our pipe network a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to have to come off at a slight angle to make sure that we get coverage for the recycle centre, and then from there we bring a line sort of straight down to there. Hopefully that zone will be okay because the buildings will be mainly in it. That should be okay. And then let's try and match that plotting line. And then here we can be a little bit different. We're not having that same usual kind of obviously, you know, grid-like water pipe networks that I like to throw out, you know, like we've done over here. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit with the piping, make it feel perhaps a little bit more, I don't want to say slapdash, but, you know, in a way I suppose a little bit more natural, you know, that the pipes go where the roads go and they're dropped in as an expansion takes place, rather than a lot of pre-planning. I mean, in some cases, you know, you're always going to have a little bit of stuff that's planned out in advance, but, you know, if a city starts to naturally evolve and expand and grow, then you can't necessarily just drop your pipes to the same grid work that you've been building. They have to go off script a little bit, which is what we've done over here. And let's connect up there as well. So all of those new pipes now connected to each other. I suppose we could, for the sake of safety, connect a pipe there as well, but I don't really want to do that just yet. So we've got our little expansion in. We've got our change to our metro line for the I say metro line, to our tram line over here. Let's start allocating out what's going to be where. We need some more commercial, so let's put some commercial in here, like this, in this space, like that. Makes sense for that to be commercial too. Let's start putting in, I'm not sure about having residential there. Let's take that out for a second. I might put a little bit of industrial here, just a little bit, maybe some offices or something. Let's start putting in some residential around here. We need quite a bit of residential. To provide, you know, workers. And also because we've got a huge demand for it right now as well. We need to drop in some parks, some schools, possibly. Certainly some police and fire and a health centre. So we've got a few different things that we're going to need to zone in. This just screams out to be a big residential block, so let's just go with a large brush and paint that in. Like that. There we go. This seems like a good possible spot for maybe some fire services. in that little block just there. Is that actually a gap? It is, yeah. So let's put in... Let's see where the other services are. Maybe in here. Yeah, let's drop them in here instead. So let's check our spacing. Let's go with police there. Fire next door. Where's our other cemetery? It's over there, isn't it? That's something I could drop in there, perhaps. A cemetery. It's a bit big, but... Could drop a cemetery here, perhaps. Yeah, let's do that. Let's drop a cemetery there. Next door to that, when we unlock them, we can stick a crematorium on that little end just there. And now, obviously, we need a health centre, which should slot in nicely just here on the corner. There we go. So we've got those services in. What about education? I think I'm going to relocate one of these elementary schools. They're just so many tightly packed together. Let's take that one out. Bring that over here. Which side of the road do I want this? Let's stick it on that side there. What about secondary schools? I've only got one traditional secondary school over there. I've got the newer sort of campus there from the DLC. Let's stick a more traditional secondary school in over here on this side. Stick that next door, and then we'll put in a playground, a large playground, possibly, on the other side. About a smaller one. Smaller one would probably be a bit better, actually. There we go. Let's see what else we can drop in. Dog parks, very, very good, useful sort of utilitarian or utility buildings we can drop in. They have a nice positive effect. They're quite small, so have a very low footprint. What about a bouncy house? We haven't had a bouncy house yet, have we? Maybe drop that behind the school. Oh, that's the emergencies, isn't it? Maybe put that over here near the school. Maybe. Or there, actually. Or carousel park. Let's go with the carousel park next to the playground. There we go. Maybe do that somewhere else. What else can I add? A park or two. Nothing in this space over here. Let's see if we can maybe tidy up this space a touch. What are we going to lose if I drop it in? If I drop it there, we'll lose a few buildings, but we can rezone on the other side of the roads. Be better to drop it here, really, wouldn't it? How can I do it with having the least impact? I think there is going to be the best place for it. It's a small residential house, isn't it? Okay, let's try and use this sort of block here. Ah, these grid snaps. There we go. We run a pathway up. Take that out. Run a pathway up here, like that. and then connect it like that. Beautiful, there we go. Easy access to park there. We've got access to the road automatically there. That's a... Why have I got a single block of... It's what I mean, some of the leftover little bits of zoning don't seem to make much sense. There we go. Rezone those. You know what, I'm actually going to take that shop out and put a house in there. So that's filled up that nice little bit of space, and it's also going to give us a nice sort of leisure boost, because that's a bit of a miserable area for leisure activities. As you can see, a lot of red around here. That will help sort of brighten up some of this area over here. We could maybe put something small in somewhere around here, but we'll come back and do that later. I want to make sure that I've got good stuff around here as well. Maybe stick a park here on this corner. Or just here, actually, off the side of the tram. That works. There we go. Connect that straight up to the tram lines that way. Although I suppose I could have done it here, couldn't I? Maybe not. Doesn't seem to like that. But that works. So again, it becomes a point of interest at that stop. You know, for people getting off, can get to that park there. What else do we need to add in? We need something down here to try and have a knock-on effect on this little area over here as well. What haven't we used for a while? Haven't used the botanical gardens. Could put a plaza in. Could use another one of these tennis courts. Kind of like the idea of sticking a tennis court in this little block, perhaps. Oh, we're out of cash. So no more buildings being dropped in. So I think we've kind of got everything that we need. Let's unleash. Speed time up. Start zoning some of this stuff in. We'll get some houses and some businesses start to pop up. We're going to have no power in certain parts of this for a little while, but the tram... Oh, there we go. Got itself back on the tracks. Skipped out a stop. And it's resetting itself on the route. So it'll turn around and then might go all the way back to the depot and then actually pick up the route properly. Let's see what this one does. Yeah, that one's stopping. And you can see we're getting people getting off. Not many, because there's no one actually using this bit at the moment. Why is that house isolated water-wise? Oh, look at that. That's frustrating. Alright, there we go. There we go. We'll get power connected to these as more stuff starts to pop in. You can already hear a whole lot of little pings of buildings getting an upgrade. You can see here stuff pinging thanks to the new parks and stuff that we just dropped in. Obviously we just dropped in that dog park there. That's pinged a lot of buildings in this area. What about over here where we dropped... See, we're getting some upgrades over here. We dropped in a new park over here, didn't we? Or something. There. We dropped that in and that's had a bit of a positive effect on some of these buildings around here. Still no power over there, but that's just a temporary thing. A lot of new stuff spawning in. You can see the residential demand has not disappeared. It's still there. It's just it's so small because as people start requesting land, it's immediately available for them. So that's why, even though there's a huge spike in blue and the green keeps just appearing and disappearing and appearing and disappearing, every time there's a demand, it's being fulfilled automatically because there is all this available zoning space over here that we've allocated out with power and water. So it's filling those up automatically. The commercial stuff, have we run out of commercial space already? We have, look, pretty much. Why is that not zoned either? So that block of commercial is zoned up. Let's see, can we maybe drop another little commercial point over here perhaps? There we go. And straight away we're starting to see some people moving in, and of course we've got people being able to sort of move back and forth to those shops from various different points along the route. So there'll be a good customer base going in there, hopefully. It's going to take a while as well for all these new people to get educated. You can see we've got a lot of worker vacancies at the moment in all these new shops over here. The businesses have gone in ahead of the residences at the moment, so that's why we're getting a bit of a worker shortage. Getting a bit of a customer shortage over here. We need to look at maybe upgrading everything over here. You can see again it's quite miserable over here. What else can I drop in? Let's see if we can drop in a plaza or something. Where are my plazas? Need something to boost this little area over here. It's just a question of what and where. Let's try a smaller plaza. Something that's not going to have quite such a big impact on what's already been placed. That might work. Couple of small houses, drop a plaza in the middle of them, should ping all those houses a little bit. There we go. Need something else. I tend to go with the dog park because it's small and easy to use. Look at all these people over here, look. Coming in and out of the industrial area. Wow, look at the number of people walking to that tram stop. I don't really want the botanical gardens yet. I could go with another dog park. I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a go-to, I suppose. Maybe a small playground. Stick a small playground just there. There we go. And that's going to ping all these houses around here. So you'll start to see those upgrading, which means more people, they'll get bigger, more people can move in and provide more people in that area. That's always a good thing. We do have a problem with the power over here, just not coming in as quickly as I'd like, so let's see what we can do to give that a little bit of a nudge. There we go. Run some power lines around the back. Again, no workers at the moment. There's no people in this area. We've got another tiny little property without water. Okay, we can fix that. There we go. One little nub solves that water problem. So the next phase of this, to deal with any industry requests, will be to put a small farm in here. And again, we'll have a good-sized area over here to hopefully supply some workers. Maybe we could even extend it out a bit and have the farm somewhere else. I do, as I say, want to put in another connection to the freeway over here as well. So we'll look at doing that probably in the next episode. Get another freeway junction up and running. I just want to see how this one's going to progress a little bit more. Get some nice brick houses going in here. So the worker problems here have all gone away now that more people are moving in. There's still a few customer issues, and obviously our industry still suffering quite a bit. Let's see if we can just clear out some of these derelict buildings. This might just cause a sudden surge of industrial buildings to go in and start failing themselves, but it at least helps keep the area a little bit cleaner and tidier. That might be a good thing. Could look at maybe getting some more trams on this route as well now. How many trams are on the route? Let's have a look. Modify line has 9 trams running at the moment. Let's push it up to 12. So we'll get 3 more trams head out of the depot. Here they come. So add on to that line over there. What about this one over here? We're getting a bit of a delay. No, maybe not. It's not too bad. Let's just see how many are running on this route. 4. Yeah, let's add an extra tram in. Let's go to 5 on this route. So we'll get another one coming out the depot. There it is. I mean, we're picking up pretty much everybody every time a tram stops there, but, you know, makes sense to maybe just throw an extra one in there. Get the route up a little bit more. So you can see we're not leaving anyone behind, you know. We're not having like this huge backlog of passengers at that stop there. How are we doing over here? Again, no major backlog. It's just a busy route. Lots of people moving in and out of the area. A lot of workers, I think. So again, it makes sense to maybe have that little extra tram. That's good stuff. And there's one other thing I want to drop in which we haven't done yet. And I might do this over by the recycle centre, I suppose. And that's put in a transport hub. You know, one of these maintenance depots. So stick that there. Just so we can improve our road quality a little bit. Get the roads moving a little bit faster. So we go to our info views. Go down to... traffic flow. Where's road condition? I think it's down near the bottom, isn't it? No, it's escape routes. Where is it? There we go, road maintenance. So you can see our road condition at the moment is pretty bad. We've got coverage that covers pretty much the entire area with that one building. But that's the condition of our roads. A lot of them aren't great. But these green ones are ones that have been boosted by our maintenance trucks, and you'll start to see a lot more of these green lines appear and the red lines disappear. And that just speeds up how fast the traffic can move on the road, so that's always a good thing as well. Just get our people moving around our city a little bit faster. And they'll just keep whizzing around the city, improving it. We don't need an extra one of these for now. You know, one should be enough. You can see all those pings of buildings upgrading. And I'm not sure if that's just because of the services we put in or also because we're boosting the roads. I'm not sure if that actually has an effect. But you can see there with one of our purple trucks. You can see it's boosting the roads, just driving over them like that, look. Beautiful. Good stuff. So there we go. A few things that are disappearing at the moment. A few things that are building themselves back in. We've got a lot more sort of residential stuff to be zoned in yet, to spawn in. We've still got all of this space around here that hasn't been taken up yet. Let's throw in some more residences around the school so we can get a natural power connection and not rely on those cables. And also it just means there's more workers around the area as well. I'm not going to zone anything in just there, in terms of buildings. There we go. So another little expansion, and immediately some of those are being taken up with new land opportunities. So that seems like a good point for us to end with our nice little side expansion over here. We've added in a nice little bit of extra residency. We've extended our tram routes, and you can see those trams running through. We've relocated our recycling depot, so where we did have some pollution, see how much cleaner that park is looking, how much healthier those trees are looking, and there's no dirt on the ground over here. Relocating that certainly was a good idea to somewhere where it's going to have a minimal sort of impact. And next time out, we will look at getting a connection set up to the freeway, and then maybe start looking at getting a farm up and running. We'll see how our businesses are doing in terms of workforce. We might need to concentrate on sorting that out first. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more of the Cleanup Crew Challenge for Green Cities here on City Skylines very soon.